Welcome to OWAD. Today I'm Sophia, piloting to the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring ocean/industrial age concepts. And we have been coming across quite some big concepts, something quite abstract. And today, another, I guess, human creation, 文学, which is in Chinese, text study, and that is literature. Is it kind of making sense? Because literature is about writing, about storytelling through written form. I realize storytelling can be done in multiple forms. Music is one form. 2D painting, artwork, dancing definitely is a big storytelling tool. So there are different ways of storytelling, and 文学, this text-based storytelling, is what we're talking about here. Okay, 文, how Chinese express 文. It's a symmetrical, beautiful shape in this 2000 years ago seal script. My interpretation, I view it in two parts. One is this dot on top of this heel. I mean, this heel is stylized. It should be just like the contemporary Chinese, simplified or traditional, just one dot on top of one horizontal line. And that to me signifies intentional. It's a human intentionally made thing. It's a man-made thing. It's equivalent to English artificial. It's man-made. Okay, we have lots of living quarters with this meat and this big arch with a chimney on the top. That's my interpretation of human shelters, because you have to have the chimney, because you have to cook, have food processing, eating, getting people fed. That's a major task of what living quarters is about. You have to have a kitchen in there, and in the kitchen you have to have a chimney, right? So that to me signifies it's for human. It's made for by for. Did I say for already? Made for and by humans. So the top dot vertical line simply means this is man-made. And then this crisscross simply shows the patterns. And the ancient, if you go to any big museums, they may exhibit some ancient scripts preserved on like carved on a rock, or in terms of Chinese, it was cast onto a bronze, or it was kept on turquoise shells. So it was some hard surface, but not hard enough to not be able to carve to make a mark on there. So this, if this is crisscrossing, very likely that's not the natural cracking of that hard surface. It could be very much intentional. It's man-made. And I'm pretty sure in archaeology study, there are ways of, if you go out to dig out some ancient site, there may be ways for you to tell if those are man-made or nature formed, right? And this is how Chinese express that. If this is crisscross like that, very likely it's intentional, man-made. Plus this chimney on top of this flat surface, that's another man-made signal. So the whole thing, 文 means single character, well, single pictograph. So Chinese we started from single pictographs. Symbols like the sun, the moon, the rain even, these are all single character. And eventually we have this composite character. So multiple, it's almost like a storytelling. It gives you a more complicated setting, created kind of tension, right? 2 plus such otherwise self-standing pictographs when they group together to create a new meaning. So that's a second group. That's called a 字. It's a composite. It's a combination of pictures together versus just singular. We start from simple. So singular pictograph. Those are the starting point. It's almost like the great grandfather or mother of the language. And then things, new concept built on top of these elements. These are the original Lego pieces, so to speak. Okay, so that's 文学. Okay, we just talked about single self-standing versus composite, right? This 学 definitely is a composite. It's made of 4 elements. It looks quite complicated, right? We have a baby at the bottom. So this pick me up body gesture, have hand hold up, and then big head on the top. And we don't have differentiation of legs yet. It's probably still baby in a bundle. So that's human infant look. And Chinese use that to mean children in general, to make sure it's young enough, it's recognizable, very distinctive from adults. Now we have this arch without a chimney. And my theory is this is a shelter, but it's kitchenless, doesn't involve kitchen. That's a special place people build for schooling purpose. Doesn't, I guess people bring lunch back then from home. It doesn't have a cafeteria. All right, so that's the environment. So the learner, the children, and the school, right? And then the top are 2-finger hand symbol, like this, like this. 2 interpretations here. I didn't think about this before, but I thought about it now. Because Chinese have this God, the concept of God came from the lightning. That's kind of similar looking like that. It's basically, actually, it's electricity. Originally came from lightning in the sky, and Chinese actually use that. I'm not sure if it's the language creators actually map this lightning character, use it on electricity because somebody discovered it. I mean, Ben Franklin, right? Discovered lightning is electricity. Not sure if that's the reason, but it ended up in Chinese that way. That today we use it as electricity, but originally it means lightning, which is made of this structure, not the middle part, just this structure. This one interpretation is somebody else's hand. That is, in the context of a study, it's the teacher, the adult teacher's hand, handing down these crisscross, double of them. It's a network of knowledge, hand down to children. And there is this giving and the receiving, 2 sides under this roof without a chimney. And that's one interpretation. Second is my new light bulb moment. Because of electricity imagery, which replaced this crisscrossing with this kind of reversed S-curve. That means electricity, lightning. And this is like God's hand, or at least it's some divinity out there that can handle lightning bolts like that. Like whoever is throwing lightning bolts around in the sky, whoever is that scale and influential are those hands. And those hands represent divinity, represent something beyond human comprehension, beyond the human touch. We're all living under the mercy of that, whoever can throw the lightning bolts around. That's Greek mythology, Zeus, right? And Chinese regarded as a kind of superpower, or nature, we can regard it as that. It's simply human's environment, and human living within the environment. We're aware of our inferiority compared to environment. We have to adapt to the environment. So that environmental representation of the hand, these are not adult teacher, human teacher hands anymore. Those are non-human nature hands or godly hands, however you want to view it. And then in the middle, it's also my new understanding here is because this crisscross in another concept. I used to interpret it as a network of knowledge because it's crisscross, right? It's connecting things into a certain pattern. But in Chinese, we do have this as a character, this two crisscross. It almost means like debating. You see things from different sides. You are able to be contrarian to your own thoughts. You have this crisscross, this um, two forces or two angles, and they are building on top of each other. If you have that, it's almost like you are able to see both sides, pros and cons. You can see things more objectively, unbiased seeing things. And that unbiased seeing things, this, I guess, logical understanding of things handed by the divine. And that human children can represent humans across all age groups. Doesn't have to be baby learning. It could be humans, grown adult, keep learning from this godly hands, this understanding things in more subtlety, in a more connective, integrative way. That's kind of lifelong learning, right? It's not just school children, that simple picture. So two interpretations. In any case, this means learning. We have text learning together. It means literature. And I believe this is iconic. Bookstore in Los Angeles. And when I search on Unsplash, what is literature? The abstract concept of literature, of course, it's full of books, and that's how it's represented. So there you go. 文学. Thank you for your time. See you another day.